Emotional pendulum as a metaphor of consultative selling principles. As you probably remember, the customer's decision-making process always begins with the recognition of a need. How do we actualize needs? We can describe this process metaphorically as an emotional pendulum. Imagine your client in a neutral emotional state. The pendulum hangs straight down. Let's give it a push toward the positive side. We put in effort, the pendulum swings upward, and objectively the client's situation improves. But what happens to their emotional state? You'd think they'd be thrilled, right? Not quite. Their emotional change is minimal, just a small lift. Why? Because, first, they were already fine. They weren't uncomfortable to begin with. And second, they didn't have to make any effort or decision themselves. And let's be honest, what comes for free rarely feels valuable. It's the same with your sales offer. It's essentially an unsolicited offer of help that nobody asked for, and therefore, nobody values. So what can we do instead? We make that help wanted. We make the solution desirable. And to do that, we need to swing the pendulum in the other direction, toward the negative. We take away the client's emotional comfort, not by actually harming them, but by guiding them to imagine potential risks, problems, and unmet needs. The pendulum swings deep into the negative zone, and their emotional state shifts from comfort to pain. Now, what does it take to make this client happy again? Nothing complicated. Just swing the pendulum back to neutral. And that's enough for the client to feel relief. There's no sweeter emotion than the moment when pain or fear fades away. And imagine, if at that exact moment you give them just a bit more than what they had before, nudging the pendulum slightly past neutral into the positive zone. They'll feel genuinely delighted. You don't need to overdo it. A small improvement now feels huge. Why? Because the client no longer compares neutral to positive. They compare negative, the pain, to positive, the relief. Even if the problem never truly existed, if it was only a perceived risk, the feeling of being saved from potential pain is just as powerful as being cured of real pain. That's exactly how it works in consultative selling. Your client doesn't have to experience real suffering. Often, prevention is safer and more appealing than treatment. So before offering a solution, make sure it's actually wanted. Help the client recognize the consequences and risks of ignoring their needs or delaying their decisions. How to do this effectively within a sales presentation. That's what we'll explore in the next modules. For now, remember the golden rule. Never offer a solution before you're asked for one. Start with the client's needs, identify them, actualize them, and only then present your solution. Don't waste your time pitching too early. In the best case, they'll politely decline. In the worst, they'll ask, "Why are you even telling me this? Why should I care?" And then you'll have to circle back, identify their needs, and explain the solution again, all while struggling to keep their attention. So, work smart. First the need, then the solution, and straight toward the deal.